Okay, here we are doing this one from Music Room. See that? Well, I lean forward, regular light, backwards, a little bit of pink. Pretty interesting because of the green light behind me. Okay, so what I wanted to do for this video is to give a little bit of a direction for, or a little summation for my ideas about the direction of this channel, a collection of videos and the future and state of it. I've posted some videos about alchemy and alchemical philosophy and my experiments within that, as well as music videos. I would like to share that this is mostly about documentation of my journey and sharing it with others and having it there as a record for myself. I don't Although I may come across in especially the alchemical philosophy videos as teaching, or in like what I'm saying may be matter of fact. um I just want to say that this I'm still learning, and this is just how I'm relating my experience and my understanding at this time. So that's just one thing I wanted to put out there. Obviously, I'm also a musician, and I enjoy sharing, in particular, songs that have meant something to me and that I like to do my own rendition of. Maybe one day I will share some original material. I'm not entirely sure about that. Also, another thing that I have shared videos on, in reference to the integrating plant perspectives video, um, where I'm talking about use of deadly nightshades. Um, as a first video, that's an interesting choice, I'll admit. Regarding work with plants, um, I would not recommend anyone following that. I would not, advise anyone to ingest any of the deadly nightshades, being Datura, Belladonna, Brugmansia, Mandrake, Henbane, etc. Um, I work with them at my own demise. Um, but there is something to learn from them, no doubt about it. And I'll go into it. I know I mentioned sharing a retrospective in that video called A Deadly Nightshade Tale, which I'm still kind of ironing out some of the last bits of, because it's a fickle one, to say the least. They're interesting beings. So this is about, music being my first love, and then later, science, magic, alchemy, all of this. I have a lot of projects in the work that I would like to share, and a lot of ideas that I would like to share. So this is a way of just kind of hashing it out. And I don't know if it's the appropriate place for a vlog sort of thing, but if anyone does learn something from either my blunders or my epiphanies that I may share with you all, that's great. That's fantastic. And the other thing I'd like to stress is that I would love to hear from anyone with similar experiences. So anyone who's delving in the same sort of stuff, who's explored psychedelics in a serious fashion, who's explored work with plants in a serious fashion, who's interested in alchemy, astrology, um, spirituality, Kabbalah, mysticism, yada yada, thelema, the list goes on. Um, all that stuff's great. Also, I mean, my main focus, hopefully, at one point will be laboratory chemistry and more advanced alchemical works that I understand in theory at this point, but I am waiting for the right time to actually execute in an independent fashion. And so from there, I would like to get to a point where I can share my confections and offerings with others so that they can have their own experience with these sorts of things, or have a doorway into this sort of stuff as I have had through others. Um, yeah. So that's where I'll leave this. I don't want to get too long on this video, but I've been thinking about making a video like this where I just talk about my intentions for the direction of this channel and what I want to do with it, what I want to share, and mostly for the reasons of letting people know that I'm not an authority on anything. I understand that a lot of times when I speak about certain subjects, I can come across in a manner that sounds like I know what I'm talking about, which I do to some degree. But I also don't want to come across as being matter of fact about anything, because I mean certain things are matter of fact, obviously, especially when you're dealing with hard science like chemistry and physics. But there's also the most interesting aspect of all of this to me is dealing in the mystical domains, where we integrate the unfathomable and the unknowable into the knowable. So that's kind of where some of this alchemy stuff comes into play, where we have the fusion of the spiritual philosophical world with the measurable objective scientific world. Okay, so I love this, how I can do the back pink. Where is it? Pink and gone. And here and no more. Pink, where is it? Weird. There it is. Okay, well that's fun. So I'm gonna do a song on piano right now. It's rather late. I've had a few glasses in me. Heyo. Um and mm, I'm gonna do a rendition of one of my favorite songs. And I say a lot of songs are my favorite songs, but this is like top 5 all time, and top 3 even. Um, this is A Piece of the Sky by Swans. I'm going to make a separate video for it, so it doesn't have to be attached to this long rant.